Hey YouTubers, and welcome back to another episode here on ESGNet of NCAA Football 14, and this is the Highland Scotties Team Builder Dynasty, and this is episode 9 as we have a bye week here in this episode, and we're going to take a quick look here at some stats and look at some standings and just kind of talk about the team so far here. I want to say first and foremost, thank you guys so much for everyone that has been supporting the channel, but also supporting this series here, because I have a lot of people already asking if they could, submit a character or submit a player, and we're gonna get to that here. I'll let you guys know about that more here a little bit in this episode, and plus the episode of it's our sports talk series. We're gonna have a special recruitment special video coming up here later on today, so you guys will see that video here on the channel, and how you guys can be a part of next year's squad possibly. But take a look here. We'll just take a look at some numbers here, but I want, like I said, I want to go back and say thank you guys so much for supporting the series here, because it's been a lot of fun here. So playing this so far, and pretty much I'm almost halfway through the well, a little over halfway through the season. I'm almost done with the season for the first season so far for this one, and so that's, episodes are going to be coming out either one at a time, possibly, maybe it's supposed to be a series all exclusively on Saturdays, just like the series for Pete Shiloh, but I may move over to Sundays here and there occasionally, depending on if there's a pay-per-view on that. If there's a pay-per-view on a certain Sunday, then we won't have have these videos come out, but for the most part they'll be on Sundays. But yeah, it's been so much fun playing this series, and I've been getting a lot of feedback from everybody, and for the most part it's been a lot of fun. I've missed playing college football games, and I was so glad I was able to find this copy of this game at a nearby video game store that I can't get enough of this game. The only thing I really don't like is the recruiting on this one, because it's a lot different than years past, and I kind of really like the previous year's game with the recruiting, and so because with the point system, it's I don't know, it's very difficult, because you're constantly changing your point system, and you can only put up I think the max is like 500 points per person. So it's kind of I don't know. I'm getting used to it. So let's just put it that way. But for the most part here, it's been a fun series. Flanagan, our quarterback here, he's a great quarterback. And he's been, he's had his times there. I think he's a bit of a gunslinger. He kind of reminds me of a Brett Favre. He likes taking chances and throwing down the field, and I feel like that's when I'm having him in the game and playing, that's seems to be the case to be. And Coach Teddy Bonds, talking to him about this young man and whatnot, he says that that's one person he reminds him of, is playing with Brett Favre like, but he says, hey, he's gonna have to reel some backs him sometimes, and kind of get him back on some kind of ground him on his passing and stuff like that. And we've kind of noticed that here in a couple of games now. Not so many interceptions, and also not necessarily interceptions, but not just hurrying the ball and just trying to get rid of it. Offensive line is something that we do need to work on, both in the passing and the blocking area. And that's what we're going to try to work on during the off season, is recruiting some good offensive linemen. We got a couple that I think we got coming in here. I think we signed one so far, and I think we have 2 more that should be on the cusp of coming and be a part of our this institution. But yeah, I mean, so far I don't know let me know what you guys think of the series so far here down below in the comments section, because I think it's been a lot of fun. I do got to change some things up, because we are up in the rankings now. I think we're ranked 16 in the nation now, going into this game against Washington State coming up here. after this bye week here. I think that's what we end up going to. So sorry, spoiler alert there. But yeah, we ranked 22nd going into this 9th week of the season, and I think we get bumped up to like 16 or something like that. So it's gonna be, it's gonna be. I'm trying to figure out how a way where we don't have to. I think by the end of the season, if we're in somewhere in the top 10, we'll just probably get a decent bowl game. But I don't know which bowl, and I'm hoping it's not a BCS bowl because it's way too early for that. So yeah, we're gonna have to change how we're gonna maybe do, the whole, what do you call the pick, finding what teams we're going to play against, because we are going to be independent for another 2 or 3 more seasons. I think it's a total of 4 seasons, and then eventually we will find a team or a league that we're going to be a part of. And so far, I'm thinking either Big 12. If we do that, then I'm definitely going to have to change how we're going to be, our complexity of that. We're going to have to recruit a lot of corners and safeties for that to happen. And then also too, and pretty much change our playbook. But then I was thinking of Mountain West, starting off something that small, or maybe even the American is another one that I was kind of looking at. So, but let me know down below what you guys think of the series so far, and where we should go off to after this here in the next couple of, I know it's way down the road, but it's kind of nice to think about kind of ahead of time what we can do here for this club, for this organization, or this institution of football that we have here in this new football series. There you see we are ranked 16th, so we're going down into the 10th week of the season. So you guys can pause the video, check the top 25 poll there. You got some big moves, like K-State is now ranked 2nd in the nation. They're right behind Alabama. So if they keep playing well, they can have a chance to go to the National Bowl or National Championship, going against, of course, Alabama. There you see Iowa and Navy both dropped out of the top 25. And then you see Iowa did receive some more votes there. Western Kentucky, University of Southern Florida, Northwestern, and of course Arizona State, both 2 schools that we've played in the series here so far. As for the Heisman watch, there you see Flanagan. He came out of nowhere here. Kason there at number 2 for the halfback position, and then of course you got other halfbacks like Tyler Pettyway and Freeman to round out the rest of the contenders there for the Heisman there. I had a hard time thinking of what the award was called. Anyway, BCS rankings there. You see those are the latest rankings that just were released here after the. I meant to show this after the. Well, no, I guess it was right because it was after the 8th week. So yeah, so this is the latest BCS, and there you see we are ranked 15th there in the nation. And there you see our points there. So I think, really, truly, I think even if we do run the table, we don't have a championship to go after, or any kind of league championship there. So that would pretty much help us if that was the case. But I think we may be inside the top 10, but I don't see us being in a BCS bowl at all. And if we're not, then I'm totally fine with that. I just hope we go to a decent bowl game and have a decent competitor that we can play against. And I know a lot of people are asking me. We are planning on Heisman, and we do have the sliders are pretty similar to are pretty much identical to one another, both on the user and the computer side. So right now I think we're just playing with a great team, and we're just fortunate to be in this position right now. But there you see some of the other team news that we have right now, and there you see some of the guys that we are currently locked out against there, and there's some pretty good wide receivers there. That Jim Jackson was the one that we was really hoping to go after. Ron Sanders there also. And then we got some little linebackers there that, well, we got 2 right now that we're battling with 2 other schools, and then Jeremy Little right there, and actually it's Grady Little's cousin is the young man there that we will be we just committed to with us. So there you see a 68 overall wide receiver. And then you see we got some guards there that we just signed, like I mentioned earlier, Garrison and McCurley, I think that's what it is. And then we got also have another wide receiver there that we're gonna pick up. So there you see our team, our coaches news there, the XP that we got so far for our team. So we're looking pretty good right now. As you take a look here, we'll take back a week there, look at week 9, see how everything shaped out to be. Hopefully your favorite team was able to get a victory there for this week. But yeah, for the most part here, yeah, it's just so I'm hoping that we'll be able to open up the passing game a little bit more. Hopefully we'll be able, Flanagan will be able to read a lot better defense there. And also too, I would like to get some starter or get the second strings in. I think a couple games so far they've been able to play. The one game I was really hoping that we was able to do so, and I was looking forward to it because I was going to start the second half with them, or at least have them in this, come in after the first drive of the second half. That was the Tennessee game, but unfortunately, you see how that game turned out to be, and we had a keeper, but both first string offense and defense up on the field. I wasn't able really to do that, so I'm hoping that maybe in this game against Washington State, if we do happen to have a good first half, and if we can get a decent start of the second half and score our first drive of the second half, then I'm willing to put starters in for the second half there and give them some playing time there. Talking to Coach Teddy Bonds there about that, he says, that was one thing he did. He wants to really focus in on the future for this ball club, because that is, these young guys are coming, they're behind the starters. They need to be prepared for next season, because there's a good chance there they can play. Because this year we didn't redshirt anybody. Next year is a different story. So there's a good possibility we could redshirt some guys there. Not really sure we're going to have anybody going out, even though we have quite a few sophomores here. I don't really see too many of them leaving early for the NFL draft, or leaving school or transferring, anything like that. So pretty much everybody that was here this year will be back next year. And like I said, we'll have a few freshmen there for next season there to work out. Because remember, this is the first year that we're a 4-year institution. In years past, we've always been a junior college, and it's always been a 2-year thing, and kids would go off and transfer to other institutions that were 4 years. So that is something that's going to be very different for us next for this. After this season's over with, we're going to have to figure out who we're going to start. Of course, Flanagan right now, he is the guy that we're going to be hoping to build around here in years to come. I'm hoping we can have him here for the next 2 more for his senior year. And just depends on how well he plays, and especially with the way he's playing right now as a Heisman Trophy candidate. Coach Teddy Bond said he is going to be really talking to the young man about trying to stay and trying to help build this program. There you see additional details there, and from the week 9. This is after week 9, all the numbers there you see. But yeah, it's right now we're just playing some really great football, and I'm hoping that this will continue on for us here as we go here and get better and better week in and week out. Now, I know a lot of you guys have been asking about possibly, and I've already got some submissions already. And in the upcoming episode, like I said, later on today, we'll have a special episode of the Scotty Sports Talk, where you guys can submit your own players to be in next season. So there'll be players that I'll put in right before. Well, they won't necessarily be in next season. They won't be a part of next season's class, or won't be able to play next season, but they'll be in next year's class. So it would be guys that we can recruit onto the team and help us out in areas. And so there you see the latest Heisman watch right there, and then you see Kayson's kind of fell some down since then, but Baker Mayfield, there you see the actual Heisman Trophy winner from this past year in real life. He is on the board there now for Oklahoma. But yeah, we're gonna do a couple submissions there, and I'm telling you guys now, there's a big announcement coming up. I don't want to say what it is right now, but there's a huge announcement. All I'm gonna say is this announcement is gonna be awesome for whoever gets picked and whoever's player does well in this series, if they get their player in this series coming up for the future here on ESGNet, because let's just say that they'll possibly have their, I don't know, their own maybe series of their own here on the channel. Yeah, I'll get into more about that into that video. So that's a little bit of a tease there, I know, but yeah, I'll talk more about that coming up in the sports Scotty Sports Talk there in episode 9 when we do our recruiting special there. So yeah, someone could possibly have their own series in a future game or whatever. So I'll get into more of that. But there you see, we're ranked now 8th in the nation, so we jumped up quite a bit there, going from 22 to 16 down to 8. And oh boy, here we go. We got Washington State coming up here in the next episode. There you see, we're itching for a fight after having a week off. We are going to get back in action here, and we're going to go to Washington State there. We're going to play against the Cougars, as they are currently 3-5 there, and we cannot take them lightly, as they are a dangerous team. Teams like this, they are very dangerous. They're just going to be chomping at the bit to get to a team like ourselves, who are currently now 8-0, and who are been pretty much riding pretty high here in this season. So we'll see what we can do there, and coming up in the next episode. Stay tuned for episode number 10, the Highland Scotties Team Builder Dynasty here on ESGNet. Also, stay tuned for later on today, that special announcement I have for you guys about how you guys can submit your player to be a part of the Highland Scotties football team for next season for recruitment, and that special announcement that that an individual here on the channel could possibly have. So we'll talk about that more here coming up in the Scotty Sports Talk later on here. So stay tuned for that for later on today. That video will be up here probably in the next 2 or 3 hours. So stay tuned for that. So again, thank you guys for watching. Stay tuned again for more Highland Scotties football here on ESGNet. If you guys enjoyed today's episode, please leave a like. Also, don't forget to subscribe to the channel and check out other great series here on ESGNet. You guys can follow us on social media on Facebook, Twitter, and Discord. Check us out there. All the links are down below in the description. Check us out and be a part of the ESGN Nation. Again, thank you guys, and stay tuned for more here on the channel. As always, keep yourselves and each other healthy, and I will see you guys next time.